Hello everyone. Today we are on the Bro Label channel with a special guest. It's Yuriy. Yuriy is a professional in payment solution area, and today we want to discuss that hot topic: how the multi-million dollars company accept payments all over the world globally. Yuriy, please introduce yourself about your experience.
Hi, Vadim. Glad to be here with you. So, I was in charge of partnership with acquirers, banks, to build a global payment infrastructure for a huge, entertaining digital platform.
Okay, and can you share some results? What it was like volume in terms of volumes or like number of users?
So, it was a multi-million user platform. So, it was over a million plus users registration monthly. In terms of volumes, we were processing around 500,000 monthly, and the overall volumes in currency were hundreds of millions of dollars yearly, not to be specific.
Yeah, really, really like interesting from one
Yeah.
point of view, and in the same time, I believe it's a challenge to the company to process such amount of money.
Exactly. Most of the people from the product team, they didn't know what's happening behind the curtains, especially how crucial it is for the business to make sure that the payment infrastructure works smoothly.
As I understand, and let's step down a little bit. At currently, you're also helping companies to improve the payment process and like acceptance of the payments like if we are short down this process. Am I right?
So right now, I'm helping merchants, businesses to find the best payment setup in their case, to find the best service provider in Europe, the UK, and the US, and make sure that they get the most from their payments.
Can you specify what the main criteria to select the right payment provider? Because as I understand, it's thousands of them on the market, and you can easily find something for you, but it's not usually it's not the best solution, like not fit for everyone.
That's true. Only in Europe alone, we have 180 plus acquirers registered and thousands of payment system providers. So those intermediaries that provide services, but are not necessarily acquirers themselves. So when you find the best solution for you, you have to take into account a few things. First of all, the region they support. The more licenses the service provider has, um, the higher the acceptance rates will be, because the setup will allow you to process payments from your customers that are globally through correct rails, let's say. Also,
Mhm.
you take into account the size of the business, the minimum criteria, such as whether they support alternative payment methods such as Apple Pay, Google Pay, and how long have been on the market and what clients they typically work with to make sure they have specific expertise for that niche. And more things you have to keep in mind.
Okay, you mentioned that there is like relatively small amount, like 100, and like 10 times more payment service providers on top of these acquirers.
Yes.
What's the reason to create payment service provider and to work with payment service provider, not directly with acquirer?
So it all depends on your strategy, of course, because if you are a big company and you want to make sure that you work with a stable grand service provider, then you go for the creme de la creme. So you work with WorldPay, Checkout, Adyen, and others. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is that they start from specific a volume threshold, and usually they want to work deeply integrated with you. So it means that you have to use them as their gateway, and sometimes it's difficult to connect it with other providers. At the same time, if you are such a big company, you can't risk and rely only on one provider. So you want to have a multi-acquirer setup. This means that you have to have as much control over the system as possible. That's why you can alternately go with smaller providers that can be a part of your general setup.
Mm-hmm. So when you're building a multi-million revenue business, you're looking for like, let's say one point of view, cut the cost at maximum, so have a best proposal, but in the same time you can rely on the one provider. Usually you integrate several and rotate them or make A/B tests, how it's working.
So you're absolutely right. You can't just stick with one provider, because if a downtime happens and you don't accept payments, that's a huge damage for the business. Not only you don't get the money, the revenue drops down, but also your clients are unsatisfied. They will probably go to your competitor. They will go to your support, which will also negatively affect it. So you want to have at least 2, 3, or even more, depending on your strategy. Our business had more than 20 acquirers. Because we operated globally, so we focused on different regions, and we wanted to make sure that we get the best acceptance rate. So probably not everybody know, but under the hook, the whole system operates in a way that your payment will be directed to a specific acquirer, depending on several parameters. Where are you from? What is your card issuing bank, etc., etc. This is called payment routing. Also, there is such a thing as payment cascading. It means when we try to process your first payment through the acquirer number 1 and it didn't go through, it will automatically go to acquirer number 2 and then to acquirer number 3. And this way you maximize the acceptance rates to make sure that client can actually pay and use the service in the end.
Okay, before we are going in more details about how to find the right provider and how to sign make a first payment with them, can you tell me, for example, there is global players like Stripe, for example.
Yes.
They are working in most regions and the most common provider. Who should consider to going directly to them and just open account like with a smooth process, or start looking for the better solution in terms of money, for example, or maybe some other criteria?
That's a good question. So I would say if your business is relatively small and you don't need any sophisticated solutions and you don't operate in high-risk niches, so basically any service provider or bank is happy to process you go with the simplest option. Stripe is well known, and you won't have lots of problems with them. The only thing you have to keep in mind, if your account is blocked or you want to have more control or to make sure that you understand why these payments were accepted and those were not, then Stripe will probably not be the best fit for you in this case, because you simply don't have this long reach. So you can only go with the setup they provide you. That's why they're the biggest on the market. If you want to have more control, you then find partnerships that will give you more information, that will make sure you get more individual solution and individual support.
Okay, so we are talking about, in my mind, is like threshold. When
Mhm.
you are smaller than some amount, it's not a big problem to use Stripe, and usually it will be not a problem to like accept payments through the Stripe. Even if some percent of the payments will fail, it will be not big amount. But
For
if you
sure.
already have some thresholds of income volumes, let's say more than million per month
Mhm.
or something like that, you should start thinking about the alternatives. Am I right?
That's true. Even if you have more than $100,000 of revenue monthly, I would definitely recommend you go with at least two provider setup to make sure that you lower down the risks.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you expand, the more sophisticated your setup becomes.
Okay. Next question it's regarding what's the process on onboarding usually to such provider? What should you know, or like what steps you should take before signing the contract?
The onboarding usually lasts from a couple of weeks to half a year, depending on the niche. Because if we're talking about high risk businesses that will go through a more detailed background check on the bank side, you want to make sure that you give as detailed information about your business as possible. It means that you give all the information about your beneficiaries, about your legal entity, your previous processing history, your bank account details, information about your directors. So as much details as possible to make sure that their compliance team will not
Mm-hmm.
have doubts that you are uh, a good business and your customers are protected. Also, you want to show your security policies and data protection policies because it's important for acquirer to know that those clients who pay through your website or through your app are being protected, their data, their car details, and also they want to make sure that you take measures in order not to process payments from stolen cars, let's say, so you control
Mm-hmm.
your risks.
Okay, this is really legal part of work, yes. And
Yep,
the next step, as I understand, it's negotiation or
exactly.
communication with provider, and how
Definitely.
it's working usually.
Uh, so the whole process can be so different depending on who are you speaking with on what level. So if you go through the front door and you say I want to process your payments with you, then you most probably will get a general approach with general numbers and not with not a big chance that you can negotiate something better for you. That's why businesses go on their own to different conferences to meet people face to face because people buy from people, and
Mm-hmm.
you can get twice as better deal if you know who to speak with. It also is applicable to the business side. Sometimes big acquirers don't tend to work with smaller business, but because uh, you have good connections, you can start process payments with them. It means that you get a more reliable solution, more trusted provider, and overall, it will be also a good plus for your reputation for the future connections with other acquirers.
So, as I understand, your service in general for your clients is to be this person who knows the players and can connect with the right and person from the provider point of view and represent the business in the best way to negotiate end price and conditions.
Exactly, because I speak the same language with acquirers and I know what they're looking for. It's much easier for me to get to the understanding between business needs and the acquire needs and make sure that the process goes smoothly. So, because I represent merchants, I make sure that they benefit the most out of this deal. And the contract terms they get will be the most favorable for them specifically.
Okay. And my last question to you is regarding team composition from the client, from the business side. I understand that it depends on the company size
Yes.
and it varies, but in usually what roles should be from the company side is to comply with requirements of payment service providers.
The bigger is the business, the bigger is the team typically. However, we can start from just operational managers or treasury managers, head of finances, head of treasury, those who work with money for a setup. Then for the further operations, you of course want to have the support team who will at least control the smoothness of the process, who will make sure that they are in contact with the service providers to mitigate any possible risks. And the more acquirers you add, the more details you want to solve, the more human power you need, of course. So I would start with generally head of payment or payment manager who can do it on his own, and then add individuals based on your specific needs.
Okay, so usually you can communicate with head of payments or, for example, head of finance from the company, or it's not?
Typically, it's CFOs, head of finance, head of treasury, sometimes CEOs. But yeah, you were right.
Okay. And also, the process from your point of view, when you step in and when you step out.
So, I step in when the business realizes they want to either improve their payment setup, or they want to open new market, or they want to find a fintech service provider such as acquirer, payment service provider, or a bank. I find the best solution for them and make sure that the deal is done on the best possible terms. After that, the business operates, process payments, and have a good partner. Yeah, so that's when I step out. So when the deal is done.
So when the first payment goes through, you are free to go, yeah?
So when the onboarding is completed and both parties shake hands.
Okay, got you. That's all from my side. Thank you for visiting us, and I wish you the best in your work. You are helping companies to not only save money, but to make clients more happy and offer more clear payment process to them. So I believe after this call we will share also in your contacts, in under the video. Yeah, so everybody can contact you and communicate regarding your services.
Thank you so much, Vadim. It was my pleasure to be here with you.
Yeah, everybody, thank you for your time. Subscribe for this channel and see you on the next video.